All right. All right, class, it's time to begin here. Y'all been fucking up my day way too much, and I'm not paid enough to do this professor shit.
God, your teacher's kind of a bitch.
All right, now
No,
start
right.
recording.
Yeah, I found Minecraft in the Discord.
All right, so first off, everybody, thank you for coming out for Destroyer training. This is Gunboat Advanced Training. So everyone should have already watched the basics of loading your ship. If you have not, then watch the basics, please, because we're not going to go over basics. We're going to be doing some live fire advanced training. So this is not for the faint of heart.
All right, so we. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Hacky.
I was going to say gunboats are not an easy thing. Still trying to figure it out, to be quite honest. But there are some people in here, like Ziggy Neon, who is your
Anything I can kill.
class leader, who is
Floats, I can take
damn good with gunboats. So I'm going to yield more to his expertise in this.
He's a hero.
Come on,
All right,
Patch.
so with the gunboats, you got a couple of different types of gunboats. Not every gunboat is built the same. You got the Hakymu, which is just the DPS to everything gunboat. The Kleber, the Marceau, which are, and then actually the Smolensk, we don't have a Smolensk, which are anti-DD. They're DD hunting gunboats. The Vampire. Awesome.
Oh, that's fun. TeamSpeak is being evil.
You can just type it out, Ziggy, in chat.
No, right?
There you go. That's better.
Sounds
Oh,
like
this sounds better.
Okay, so let's say we have different types of
User
gunboats.
joined your channel.
You got just the DPS spamming gunboats like your Hakymu. You got your DD hunting gunboats like the Marceau, Kleber, and Smolensk. Then you got your more rounded gunboats, so the gearing falls into that. The Vampire I'd kind of put into that, though. It's a pretty
It's more
decent
of-
knife fighter.
It's more of a destroyer hunter.
Yep. And so you want to know the role of your boat and kind of what your plan of attack is. That way you know how to have an exit strategy, because in a gunboat, exit strategies are going to be important. If you don't know how you're going to escape out of a shitty situation, you're going to die in the shitty situation. So if you're in a very fast boat, so French, you can often rush a cap, and as long as you have an escape vector, you can just kind of swing in, make people burn their radars, and just attack and get out of there. If you are, a smoking boat, you want to find an area that's safe to set up, and then, not get torpedoed in your smoke. Does everyone here know how to blind fire shoot while moving?
No, I don't.
All right, everyone converge toward the middle of the map here real quick. Or just converge, guys in the north, kind of converge toward the red cap, guys in the south kind of converge toward me. So this is a skill that is super easy to use and really useful when you are trying to use a highly mobile gunboat in a knife fight, where you're also trying to essentially keep your head on a swivel. That's the hardest part of the knife fighting, is watching out for, essentially, it's the hit that you don't see that's going to fuck you up. So you want to be able to keep an eye out for other boats taking shots at you, torpedoes that are coming in. And then also, this strategy will let you shoot and move and dodge torpedoes without having to aim. You're still technically aiming, but it'll let you keep your target on, or your sight on target.
Sit still, bitch.
I know, right? All right, so I'm going to use you as an example, DRV, if you stop moving here. So in order to use this, what you want to do, and you guys aim at somebody. Let's start with I'll show you first, and then we'll kind of just take a couple of turns doing this. All right, class, it's time to begin here. Y'all been fucking up my day way too much, and I'm not paid enough to do this professor shit.
God, your teacher's kind of a bitch.
All right, now
No,
start
right.
recording.
Yeah, I found Minecraft in the Discord.
All right, so first off, everybody, thank you for coming out for Destroyer training. This is Gunboat Advanced Training. So everyone should have already watched the basics of loading your ship. If you have not, then watch the basics, please, because we're not going to go over basics. We're going to be doing some live fire advanced training. So this is not for the faint of heart.
All right, so oh, sorry, go ahead, Hacky.
I was going to say gunboats are not an easy thing. Still trying to figure it out, to be quite honest. But there are some people in here, like Ziggy Neon, who is your
If I can kill.
class leader, who
If it
is
floats, I can take it.
damn good with gunboats. So I'm going to yield more to his expertise in this.
He's a hero.
Come on,
All right,
Patch.
so with the gunboats, you got a couple of different types of gunboats. Not every gunboat is built the same. You got the Hakymu, which is just the DPS to everything gunboat. The Kleber, the Marceau, which are, and then actually the Smoland, we don't have a Smoland, which are anti-DD. They're DD hunting gunboats. The Vampire, awesome.
Oh, that's fun. TeamSpeak is being evil.
You can just type it out, Ziggy, in chat.
No, right?
There you
All
go.
right,
That's better.
sounds
Oh,
like
this sounds
it's
better.
Okay, so let's say we have different types of
User
gunboats.
joined your channel.
You got just the DPS spamming gunboats like your Hakymu. You got your DD hunting gunboats like the Marceau, Kleber, and Smoland. Then you got your more rounded gunboats, so the gearing falls into that. The Vampire I'd kind of put into that, though. It's a pretty
It's more
decent
of-
knife fighter.
It's more of a destroyer hunter.
Yep. And so you want to know the role of your boat and kind of what your plan of attack is. That way you know how to have an exit strategy, because in a gunboat, exit strategies are going to be important. If you don't know how you're going to escape out of a shitty situation, you're going to die in the shitty situation. So if you're in a very fast boat, so French, you can often rush a cap, and as long as you have an escape vector, you can just kind of swing in, make people burn their radars, and just attack and get out of there. If you are, a smoking boat, you want to find an area that's safe to set up, and then, not get torpedoed in your smoke. Does everyone here know how to blind fire shoot while moving?
No, I don't.
All right, everyone converge toward the middle of the map here real quick. Or just converge, guys in the north, kind of converge toward the red cap, guys in the south kind of converge toward me. So this is a skill that is super easy to use and really useful when you are trying to use a highly mobile gunboat in a knife fight, where you're also trying to essentially keep your head on a swivel. That's the hardest part of the knife fighting, is watching out for, essentially, it's the hit that you don't see that's going to fuck you up. So you want to be able to keep an eye out for other boats taking shots at you, torpedoes that are coming in. And then also, this strategy will let you shoot and move and dodge torpedoes without having to aim. You're still technically aiming, but it'll let you keep your target on, or your sight on target.
Sit still, bitch.
I know, right? All right, so I'm going to use you as an example, DRV, if you stop moving here. So in order to use this, what you want to do, and you guys aim at somebody. Let's start with I'll show you first, and then we'll kind of just take a couple of turns doing this. So you want to lock on your target, start shooting, and then you can hit your right click on your mouse and start looking around while you're holding down the shoot button. And you'll keep hitting the same target. It is life-changing once you know you can do that.
Dude, I never knew I could do that. Holy cow.
What is
Is
it?
this so? It's where you can use your free look while still locked onto a target.
Oh,
Could you explain that again?
So look at your target, aim at it, hit shift, whatever your look is, start shooting, and then right click and hold the right click mouse so that you can look around and just keep holding down the shoot button. So you're holding down both buttons. That right click will lock you in on whatever you're targeting. And as long as you're hitting the target, you'll be able to move around and like look at your camera and look at everything and still have your target locked onto whatever you're shooting.
Holy shiznit, I never knew you could do that.
It's very useful.
have to shoot per.
Engine damage.
Ziggy, that's. I always used to look for when I was. I didn't know it was.
There we
Cool.
go.
Ooh,
Alright,
man.
there we go. We're back. What were you saying?
Connection lost.
Battleship.
Connected.
So, keeping an eye out for a destroyer, keeping an eye out for torpedoes or anything that can shoot you is just a really great skill if you know when to use it.
I will just to tag on. It's great to use when you want to keep your guns locked in a direction on other ships, say your battleships, where you don't want your turrets to go turning off in a direction and then you have to reacquire a target. Same with cruisers, where you just hold that and you can look around freely, and then if something pops up, you can quickly snap back, fire, and hold.
Yep.
Keep looking around.
Shall we hold fire so no one dies?
Yeah, it's not killing anyone.
Why?
Yeah, as
Why-
you bring me to South and HP, Samurai.
We weren't
Why-
meant to hit each other and you started hitting me.
Why can I
You
not
were
find
shooting me
Sam?
before I even shot you.
I didn't hit you. I shot over
To
Where's
answer,
Sam?
Samurai is in the vampire.
Oh, there you are.
Okay, and then how many of you are using the captain ability that will let you know when someone's looking at you?
Oops, sorry.
I'm not using that, Ziggy. Wait, hold
I'm not
on.
either.
Not detected, or when you're.
Are the one that will tell you how many people are actually locked on and aiming at you?
Everybody
currently.
who, everybody
using
keep
that.
an eye out for some stray torpedoes.
Pat
Yeah, I
just
just
failed to
saying.
taunt me.
Hey Ziggy, do you recommend that skill? Because I'm not using it.
So it depends on your play style. I don't use it. I tend to, if I'm getting shot at, I just assume that, if I'm seeing I'm being shot at, I'm in a
Yeah, if you're
in a
detected,
threatening DD.
you're the target. Yeah.
But if you're using that, what you want to do is, do you know how to know if someone's shooting torpedoes at you using that?
Yeah, man, I was just gonna mention that I seen that in a video one time.
Yep. So that number. So say you got two people looking at you. It drops to 1, back to 2, 1, down to 1, up to 2, down to 1, and back to 2. Someone just fired 3 sets of torpedoes at you.
At the same time, you can use that to confuse them as well. If you press the X
Exactly.
key, it unlocks and relocks.
And so I will do that frequently too to make somebody think I've ditched my torpedoes on them. So let's use a sea troll here. I will go broadside to him, hit X, just dumped a whole bunch of torpedoes on you, bro. Now what you gonna do? If he's a battleship, he'll get evasive, and then I will wait for him to finish his evasive shit and actually shoot him with torpedoes. It's just a good way. It's essentially a juke. It's a good way to juke your opponent.
So that's just X, Ziggy, or Control
Just
X?
X.
Just X.
Just X. I never knew that.
Yep,
So-
I've actually used this to success in clan battles before.
Oh my gosh, what a great wow! So here's the go through that captain skill again. So you're saying if the target number varies, fluctuates quite often, and you know you're
Yep.
being torped.
Exactly. So the captain
Okay.
skill will tell you. There's a captain skill that tells you how many people are locked on to you.
Yeah.
I think is a priority target, or I can't remember
Yes.
what.
Yes.
Yeah, so priority target
User
tells you how
joined
many
your
people
channel.
have actually locked on, so the reticule is on you.
Hold on.
And
Shift X
there've been
did what?
there've been games where I've been up to 6 on that because I'm a fast DD going. I'm fast as fuck boy, and they want me dead.
He likes to live life on the edge.
I do. It's the reason you play French. You either win or lose. But yeah, that number is changing, and you know there's a DD looking at you, then you've got torps being shot at you, or they're trying to juke you. If you don't have that skill, and this is what I do, is here, Patch, turn to your right, and just come to a dead stop, Patch. So look at me, Patch. Let me know when you're ready.
Where are you? Oh,
He's to
there.
your
you are.
right.
All right. So what
Okay.
I do is gearing. Can you move backward? Or I'm sorry, no, it's you, Patch. Everyone just don't go near Patch. I'm going to shoot torpedoes in front of you, Patch.
Oh no.
All right, Markar and Kitakazi, you guys are on your own here. So the other thing to do is I am shooting the Patch. If you know the rate of fire on a ship, torpedo again.
You're cutting out bad, bro.
Right, so I may have been. So what you want to do is, if you know the timing of an enemy's torpedoes, and their fire is really off, it means they're trying to shoot at you. Quickly go to the torpedoes and shoot torpedoes at you, and go back to shooting at you, so that they can try and essentially shoot torpedoes at you without you knowing it. So just look for disruptions or unnatural rhythm in their shooting. That's another indicator that they're trying to shoot torpedoes at you. And I will do that frequently.
He's talking about
And-
this. Watch. I'm going to fire 2 salvos. And then I'm going to stop. I'm going to get my torps.
Then it's a long pause. It's like,
And then I'm gonna
he's
do
got to be
this.
shooting torps.
Go back to my guns.
Nothing to see here, right?
That's what he's talking about.
A very good note to have is that if you know there's a DD that is trying to go broadside to you, it's not because he wants to go broadside to you. More than likely, he's going to line up torps on you.
Exactly.
If you see a DD going broadside, he's probably launching torps. You better turn it.
Hey Ziggy, on
Yes.
the going back to the juke when you press X.
Yep.
Are you do you hold it down, or is it just you press it and then press it again?
Let's see, you're on the other team, right? Where are you?
He's right in front of you.
Oh, perfect. All right, so this is what I'll do. It won't work because you don't have it on. So I'll do essentially, I'll shoot every time I hit X.
You're hitting Shift X?
Just X.
No, I'm just hitting X. I'm just essentially once every second. I'm trying to make it. You want it to be long enough if they're using it that they think you're shooting torps, and then relining your guns up on them, then lining up another set of torps.
Gotcha.
So it's like a second, maybe
Perfect.
2.
All right, hold it down for a second or two. Perfect.
You don't even have to just hit it.
You just tap it.
Wait a second, then hit it again.
Okay, perfect. Wow, that's awesome.
Never thought about using it that way.
It's really part of being a destroyer player is trying to outthink your opponent. That is really half the fight. I've been in ships where they should have lost in a straight up gunfight, but if I can make my opponent think I'm doing something that I'm not, and then adjust their play. So it's like he thinks I'm shooting torpedoes at him. He's a gunship that's going to outgun me in a straight up gunfight, and then he turns in and takes, half his guns out of the fight because I know he's already wasted his torpedoes, I can hopefully maybe make it up because his back turrets are out of the fight. If I'm not shooting torpedoes.
Can you demonstrate that with me, Ziggy? I'm not quite catching what you're putting down.
All right, so where are you?
I'm right next to the Marcel and the Z-52, right off to your port.
All right, so do a complete 180 and face the GK marker.
Now, Zig, you're fake. That only works if your adversary has priority target, right?
Yes, which is why I will use the shooting technique that I showed, where I'll try to shoot, dump torpedoes, and keep shooting. But the tell is that I am having a disruption in my fire.
Yep.
So if you're looking at the GK marker, Mycroft, lock onto them.
Okay.
Just hit X. Then hit X again. You'll see you're locking on and locking off, and just spam it on him like once every second. And what you'd want to do is do it for each set of torpedoes you have.
Okay.
Which I think for you is 2. And so what you're trying to do is simulate dumping torpedoes on him by fucking with the priority target skill.
Sorry, dude.
The other option that you can do, if you go into your free look, I'm going to try and get around my guys who are not actually shooting anything.
Yeah,
So
what
the other thing you want to watch for is a just unnatural shooting pattern.
That I caught.
Okay, you got that one? Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep. All right, any other questions? Then I'd say the last thing we should do is, all you red guys still alive? Give me a second here.
Dow is no longer amongst the living because I accidentally killed him.
Yeah, he's dead. So the other thing to learn is if you're a open water gunboat, and this is really going to be the French line and a couple of the other ones, is learning how to be all the quote super troopers, nambly pambly. All right, start shooting at me. Green guys too, red and green, just start shooting at me. It's trying to just serpentine your ship. You want to be able to serpentine it enough that you can dodge shells and throw off their aim, but you don't want to serpentine so much that you lose speed. And that's really going to be just kind of swaying your ship back and forth using W and D. And then stop shooting for a hot second now.
Did you just say W and D?
Yeah, I'm sorry, AD. You spam with AD.
I had to stop shooting because I was getting too many the pink text.
So if you are in a situation like that, and so say you're in that situation, you aren't hitting the edge of the map though, you have so much fire coming into you, as soon as you break contact, pick a direction, left or right, and just do a hard turn. Because they're going to keep shooting in front of you. They'll almost never shoot to the side. So just turn out of the fire as they try to lead you and just GTFO at an angle. And I mean, every once in a while, sure, they'll get lucky, but I'm going to tell you, 80% of the time, they aren't going to execute the leave at an angle. They just think you'll go straight.
One thing you also want to keep in mind, guys, if you got tunnel vision, as in you are locked on to the ship and you're zoomed in on them, if you're moving at the same time, this is where mini-map awareness comes into play. Look at your mini-map, you will see this big white triangle.
Why are you shooting me?
That looks like Star Trek. That's you. There should be a line that's coming out from the nose that goes in a straight line. That's the direction that you're going in. So you can use that to help guide you where you're driving. You can use Ziggy's method of holding down the right click and the left click to shoot if you want to, but if you're not good at that, because you just learned it today, use the mini map to help you're going to be driving.
You should be using both. Like I use the mini map and I'll use that auto shoot function. Like I don't know how big you guys have your mini map.
Maximum.
My mini map is okay. That's what I do too.
Halfway to maximum.
So you're like squinting to look at your ship.
No.
I'm kidding.
Mine's like, fuck, I got that auto supply map, man, that makes it half the screen.
Like,
I am 2 down for maximum then.
yeah, mine's 2 down from max to where, but I have mine slightly custom to where it's like, take one of the tiles on the map, and I have that much room between like where the line for when you aim.
Yep.
And between that and my map.
Okay. And then the last thing I want to show is let's jump back out into the lobby after I ram Sea Troll.
Yay!
Oh, so you want us all to kill each other?
Yeah, go ahead and kill each other and jump out to the lobby.
Okay.
Patch has been trying to do that to me the whole time.
And then change it to a map cap, or not that map type. What is it? The clan battle type with the 3 cap.
Yep. Will do.
Stop shooting me. This is personal. You fuckers. I said it's personal, you bitches.
Gotcha.
What happened?
Patch has been trying to kill me the entire time we've been doing this.
Look, that was actually something these guys need to pay attention to.
I went to go take a bio.
All right, do it.
No, I said it did. That's why I must have happened.
I don't know if you guys were watching what Sam and I were doing.
I was not.
But
yes.
Yeah, I'm watching you guys having a Benny Hill music playing in the background.
No. What I was
You guys
doing was,
dodging torpedoes.
he was trying to launch torpedoes on me, and I was staying on his ass the whole time as much as I could.
What I was also trying to do was avoid giving you enough angle to preemptively torp me as well.
I agree. That is truly important in torp boats, both of those things.
And avoiding torps in gunboats, because they can be, especially in the French ones, like 4 kilometers away, surprise torps.
Right.
Or
Now
you
agreed.
Tokyo drift into some torpedoes.
Right. Now agreed we were screwing around, but that was probably a pretty good exercise in avoiding torps, Sam.
Well, I just want to know, Patch, did you know about that whole gun lock thing?
I did.
You have earned yourself another death by ramming, just so you know.
Okay.
Can't believe you never mentioned that to me.
No, I'm sorry.
I'm like sitting here fucking cursing playing this goddamn French line.
I honestly didn't even think about it. I thought you knew about it already. I apologize.
I never thought about it. Yeah.
I don't think about it when I'm playing.
I don't either. But I just know about it. I mean, I use it all the
So
time.
that was the problem, because I'm like, how do you micromanage this fucking boat? Because it's like, if I go to guns and I'm trying to do this, shit's happening around me that my speed's not helping me out.
I apologize for that, Mycroft, because I have been trying to help you with the Fantastic.
Yeah, is he going to jump in?
I apologize.
I can. I mean, I don't know.
No, Patch, ready up.
Hey, Brad.
Yeah.
Get in here.
Hey, I've been here
No,
for a minute.
What I'm trying to say,
Well,
what I'm trying to say is I apologize. I thought you knew about that. My bad.
I'm just teasing.
Then can you pick
I am gonna ram you.
pick a different map? Pick a more traditional map you're more likely to see.
What was the one that we had for clan battles?
I'm thinking. What about? Is it Greece?
I don't remember.
Yep, that's gonna work.
Yeah, that'll work. Oh, that's a fun map too.
Yep. So what I want to do on this one is just discuss your angles of attack early game, because you will notice most destroyers fuck up in the early game, and not fucking up in the early game is rather critical in a gunboat. because you can only fuck up once, and then your team's gonna judge you.
User in your channel timed out.
I always judge you.
I'm okay with that though. I'm the better Salem player, so.
That's not that hard.
I'm sorry, I thought you were gonna ask. My bad.
It's okay. When you compare yourself to a fucking sucky guy. Yeah, it's not that hard to be better.
Oh, you're
Yes, get in
Ziggy
here.
preys on the weak.
I'm coming. It's loading up. You're gonna have to give
Well,
me a
that's why
second.
I'm a good gunboat DD. I pray
Alright.
on the weak.
It's just gonna be a minute.
I know.
You drive in
Put in
neon.
the map for ocean.
When I'm
I
just bored, I'll
used
just
to
take the
drive in
lasso and
neon.
just be the most annoying thing in the water. Like, you get a
A
fire,
Ziggy
you get a
colored
fire, you
neon.
can't hit me.
What DD got the best fire chance?
Probably, if I had to guess, I feel like the
Hiragumo Kitakaze, I think, would have the best.
Yeah, I was gonna
just
say-
because of rate of fire, but like just
Maybe
base
Smalland as well, 'cause
chance.
it's pretty damn good as well.
What's
Base
the
chance?
password?
AOD1, all caps, number 1 instead of typing it out.
Just because of gun caliber size with percentage chance, I feel like it might be the Elbing.
No, Elbing has
No.
terrible fire chance.
Yeah, you
Does
fight
it?
AT,
Yes.
what you're using in the Elbane. You don't even want to engage other destroyers. It's not a knife fighting destroyer.
If you engage other destroyers, you're essentially praying your 50mm armor belt saves you enough for you to run
Yep.
away.
Yeah, but you still call it a gunboat, wouldn't you?
Yes, but not
Yeah.
an anti-destroyer gunboat. It's an anti-cruiser,
Okay.
anti-battleship, AP chunking destroyer gunboat.
Yeah,
So
so
the,
when I figured gunboat, when I thinks of a gunboat, I thought of a ship that would take on a cruiser.
Yeah, so when I say a gunboat, I mean any type of destroyer that primarily relies on its guns. And that's why, so when I said at the beginning, like, you got different types of gunboats. You got the gunboats that are going to be using smoke. Gunboats are going to be relying on the speed. You have gunboats that have different types of targets. A Marceau, sure, I can mess around with a battleship. I'm not as effective as when I'm trying to fuck up a destroyer at close range. The Elbine, though, sure, it can technically fight a destroyer, but I mean, you're gonna lose to almost everything out there. Like it's just not what you're good at, but you will fuck up a cruiser or a battleship. So part of it is like rock, paper, scissors, and gunboat is figuring out whether you're paper and rock and whether you're the scissors too. And then just trying to adjust the map and the play style so you can play up to your strength, especially at the early game. And again, that's why DDs the two reasons DDs die so quick at the early game is they're just stupid and yellow, or they put themselves into a position where they're fighting a battle that's not to their strength. They've set themselves up to fight on their weakness, and they're going to lose in that. So an Elbing pushing a cap, which then apparently has, a Marceau in it, the Marceau is going to walk out with the winner in that one in a straight up fight, unless the Elbing's team shows up and bails them out. So it's really understanding like what is your weakness and trying to avoid it.
Yeah, like if I see an Elbing and I'm in my gearing, I'm just gonna fucking skirt him and torp him because he'll never see me. I'll hunt him. I'll actively hunt him if I see him.
And you'll see there is I think it was the first match in the last King of the Sea. So I was in the Marceau, and the enemy had a Shimikaze. You would think, obviously, I'm Marceau against a Shimikaze, I'm going to win. He knew his weakness was getting caught in a knife fight with me. I knew my weakness was being spotted by him. He stayed close to his team so that I could not get within detection range of him without being spotted by his entire team and shot up. So ultimately, it was a stalemate for the longest time. I couldn't make a push on him, and he had to stay close to his team. Otherwise, he'd risk being picked off. So, and there was actually a really good fight, if I remember it correctly. So it's like, but it's because neither of us died first. We played to our strength, and we knew what our weaknesses were, and we mitigated it versus the other destroyer that we knew was out there.
Yeah.
All right. Sal, load up. Are you loaded up?
Everybody's ready, Ziggy. I mean, Hacky.
Oh, I can't see. I got a blank, so okay.
Yeah, when you're playing a destroyer, learn what the actual destroyer destroyers are. Like, I generally play a Gearing or a Shimmy. So I know if I see a Smallland, a Vampire, Friesland, Smallland, like maybe even a Jutland, like you gotta fucking
Nobody moved yet.
Don't put yourself out there. Stay by the fleet.
Something that I've noticed, especially this is more of a concern at tier 10. Ragnars are becoming.
Ragnars are essentially a discount Smalland. They have the same radar, but they have a slower rate of fire.
Well, my thing is they hit really hard. Like I've taken them on in my Marceau, and I've about died doing it, even though like they weren't hitting me a lot, and I hit them a lot more than they hit me, but they hit hard. And also their 30,000 K health pool.
I think
is
they
just...
have better range, although I haven't seen it straight up. Just
Okay,
in battle.
Mycroft, stay still.
All right, so first thing is exactly right. You need to know your targets. So, if you are Plague over there, what are your biggest threats in a fight on my team?
Other French destroyers and a vampire or a small one.
Okay. Yes, pretty much. And then a guy in the GK or GJ, Sea Troll, what are your threats?
Oh hell, myself first. Fires, I guess.
No, ship-wise, on the other team.
Don't know the difference in the ships that well. I just play.
Okay. So for you, you want to avoid pretty much every destroyer out there. You are a cruiser hunter killer, and you this battleship pesterer killer.
Chunker.
Yes, but you will not really be very effective against other destroyers. It's kind of that paper, rock, scissors thing. You're good against cruisers and battleships. You're not very good against destroyers. Myself in the small end, I can do decent against a battleship and almost every destroyer. Cruisers, though, will eat my lunch.
Vampire's pretty much the same.
I was gonna say Vampire's the same. What about you and the kid?
Right.
Your
What are you
biggest
saying? What are you
threat.
asking? My biggest
What are your
threat?
biggest threats on the other team there?
I would think the Marceau would be the biggest threat, wouldn't it?
Well, the real question here is anything really a threat to cruisers?
Yes.
Yes.
GJ America.
America.
That line
The
can...
Maker?
Let me put it this way. My Elbing has 18-kilometer range. With
Yeah,
heavy
this
AP,
thing
I
could do some damage.
I can
too.
Citadel cruisers at max range.
Yep.
Yeah, the Graz can do some damage to cruisers too.
And all of us are technically a threat to a cruiser. All of us have our detection range turned on our minimap, right?
Yes.
Right, but even I'm not fast enough to outmaneuver most of their guns like I can a battleship.
Well, yeah, it's because you gotta keep them at arm's length on detection and pick and choose. So that's really where. So I like destroyer play because it's kind of like the smart man's World of Warships. Like you really have to pick and choose when you let the enemy engage you. Otherwise, you will get wiped out pretty quick. And that's where having your detectability range on is going to be critical to know like when can they see you. And there are going to be times, and this is going to take intuition and skill. Like you will have an easy target, but you just aren't going to shoot it. You just have to understand that shooting it is going to expose yourself and do more harm to you than it will do to the enemy team or enemy ship you're trying to shoot. So you just gotta wait. And kind of on that, which is why I wanted to do this, having those exit strategies and ship placement strategies is going to be key here. So if you're either team, if you're a French boat, so let's go to the Fantastique, the Colberts, the Marceaus. You're in a boat that could push Alpha if you want to do a dedicated push to Alpha and do a speed push. We have done this in clan battles a couple of times if we saw the right destroyer line up on the other team, where we'll just send the French DD in to capture the contested cap and just have an extraction. So if you look at Alpha, you see how the island goes out to the left there, or the right if you're on the north side? There's your extraction. You can just run right up to the side of the island, dividing the cap, and then just kind of stick your nose out, and they radar you. Just use that island for cover. As soon as it's gone, just run away. If you look at Bravo and Charlie with the angles there, so on Bravo, say Bravo was a contested cap. What you would do is you would kind of come in on the D6 side, stick yourself on the north side of the island there, just inside the cap, and take it. Then keep the island right to your south. So if you have to leave, you'll be going to the west, keeping the island to your south, if that makes sense. So you'll be using the island to break contact with anything coming into Delta. So a lot of it is making sure you have an island that you can use to break contact if you're going to be in a gunfight. Does that make sense if you're at Bravo?
Yes.
Anyone got any questions? Or did that not make sense to anyone?
Yeah, hey Zig, are you in a
Yes.
gunboat though? Are you trying to cap? I mean, would you actually employ that strategy just because of the poor detectability?
Depends on the gunboat. And yes, I will in a contested cap, especially if and again, it's going to depend on the lineup of the DD on the other side. I will occasionally run in, especially the French DD, if I know I can get into an island and start taking the cap and then get out without being shot at if they were to contest it, and just make them burn either A, their torpedoes on me, or C, any radar just to see where I'm at. It is worth it if you have that exit strategy and you have cover that can ensure you don't take anything while you're waiting for that radar to burn out. And in a Hakymu, I will often run in. So one thing I like to do, and I will totally admit, like this is risky, which is why you need that exit strategy, is you can park your boat on the and you can even do this. I'm not sure what the Elding, that thing's detection is stupid, but you can come up to and move up to, move up to your Bravo cap. You can come in at an angle. Now, there are risks to doing this, such as if they blind torp a cap instead of like pushing into it, knowing that you're going to be at the very edge of it. Just stick your nose in, or run your ship into the edge of the cap at an angle and just start capping it. But stay at the very edge of it. You want to have as much space between you and any other ship that's going to come into it. As soon as that cap's contested, get the fuck out.
Don't cap Mycroft.
Yeah. Do you consider
That's
actually
why they
turning
usually-
around so you stick your butt into the cap?
I don't like doing that just because it takes so long to set it up, and by that time they're already in the cap.
So I will say for the Elbing, because of its gun positioning, you are better off reversing into a cap if you have to try and cap. Because you have two caps in your 2 guns in your rear.
Yeah, or just do like a U, you know?
Yeah, that's what I do. I do
Yeah,
a
you
U.
do.
I come in at an angle so that I am essentially parallel to where the other team will be. And as soon as they start contesting the cap, I just get out.
Yeah, like a parabola.
Yes. The risk to that though is every once in a this is once in a rare moon, someone will just chuck blind torps in it. And this is why I'll chuck blind torps into a cap in areas where I think they might be hiding, just to see if I hit anything there trying to take the cap out of detection range.
It's surprisingly effective.
It is, which is why as soon as that happens, as soon as that cap's contested, I'm out.
Yeah, I'll do that a lot in my Shimakaze. I'll just do a wall of torps.
I do it in the island. You can kind of narrow off an area as well.
All right, do we want to just see if we can start killing ships?
Sure.
May as well.
All right, let's go for it.
Sam, what's the thing on the back of your boat there? Is that like a depth charge thrower?
Yes, I believe it is.
Depth charges are coming soon.
Yep, the Panura ones have the squid anti-submarine launchers on the bow of their ship.
G will be your friend. The G key will fire
Yep.
whatever, anti-substitute.
And I said, you got those different types of gunboats. I am as I'm looking at that Hakymu run away, I'm an ambush predator. He's not.
For those who don't know, one of the Russian lines is most of the Russian lines are actually quite fast. I haven't got the experience, so I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yep, I don't even have him on my screen.
I don't think it's the best one.
No, I think it's the other line.
The carbo. The kebab.
So if you
I'm sorry, Sam.
No, you go. You good.
I was going to ask which ammo type is best against DDs, HE or AP?
And, usually
HE for the majority.
But the French are oversaturated, so oftentimes you may be better off using AP. But then it even depends. Like if you're in the Elbing, I would still use HE just because you're just gonna overpen it.
And if you're
Like,
shooting an Elbing, use AP. It has a 50mm armor plate. A lot of your HE will shatter.
And remember, you can aim for torpedoes at close range anyway. At further range, you're just looking to get lucky if you hit them. But you can try to take out their engines, take out their torpedoes, and mobilize the ship.
Alrighty, Plague. I see you escaped your little prison.
I'm sorry about
there.
this, Hakymu. You're dead.
I also powered myself on the island. Don't mind me.
So that's where it comes. So the Hakymu is a gunboat, but it's not a anti-DD gunboat.
The Vampire, on the other hand, is, and it's specifically designed for destroyer hunting. 5.7 kilometer detectability, crawling smoke, and a 5 kilometer ship detection range of hydro. It can pretty much engage a destroyer at that range, slow to a crawl, pop smoke and hydro, and you'll be very unlikely to be able to shoot back unless you're a Smaland, who has radar, or a German ship with their own hydro.
Torpedoes, direct front. The ship is on fire.
User disconnected from your channel.
One thing you guys want to keep in mind when you're shooting over mountains and stuff, if you see an indicator that looks like a mountain on the right-hand side of your screen when you're shooting, that means you're gonna shoot a mountain.
I don't know, that lock thing's not working well.
I find it works best against slow targets or stationary targets.
Yeah. Most destroyer players tend to just ignore it, assume everything's shooting you.
That's what I do. Yeah, do not be afraid to help out your fellow DD player gunfight with somebody. Being fair is not recommended in this game.
Being fair gets you killed.
Pretty much. If you have 2-on-1, then take the 2-on-1. But like Ziggy said, make sure you have an exit strategy because as soon as you expose yourself, someone's going to be shooting at you.
Engine boost deactivated.
Surroundings help, so look at the mini-map. See where your matchups are.
You guys know how to use minimap to shoot?
I have kept trying to do that, but I am not very good at it.
I can do it a lot better in a battleship than I can any other ship.
Oh, good fucking shot, bro.
Yeah, that was with that. I got the aim assist to work that time. I was
Well, Samurai, why do you have to put out the fire?
I didn't put itself out.
Aw, shame.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna dip out. I want to try a few games
fucking
before it
knew
goes
you
to
had
work.
radar.
I gotta go to bed and get work in the morning.
Yep, going, brother.
Take care, Ryan. Good to see you.
Yep, I'm gonna head off once we're done with this little fight here of Raz.
The small one's got radar on me. I knew he was gonna get me.
Yep,
I was
and
wondering why
firing
you
range
couldn't
just.
Yeah, I was trying to run.
I'm gonna jump up in Div Room 1, guys. If anybody wants to play some 3-on-3 with me, let me know.
Will do.
Oh,
User left
There
your
is no
channel.
place to run. We will catch you.
You can run, but you only die tired.
Hey, Phantom, did that appear fast when I drove by you when we were still sitting at the start line? I was doing 50 kilometers.
Nice.
Or 50 knots.
There is no escape. I have RPF.
Ziggy, the last thing we'll do is Captain Bills.
Okay.
Right, you shouldn't need me thanks. There he is.
there it is.
Oh, you don't want to sail that direction.
And coming
Hi, buddy. Oh, I'm actually gonna hit him. I wanted to get 4 of them.
Gonna give me credit for the kill. That's bullshit.
All right, guys. So we're gonna captain builds real quick. So I'm gonna exit out of the trend so I can bring up my captain.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same.
So for those of you, if you guys are in Discord, you can see what my captain builds are. And Ziggy can go through his captain build for a Marceau. I'll go through my captain build for a Rugamo.
Alright, since I can't see anything in Discord, I guess I'll go join Ryan.
Right, I've got to head off. I'll catch you guys later.
Well, we're also gonna say it too. So
Yeah.
User disconnected from your channel.
Yeah, I'm not that kind of thinker. I need to see it.
And so, let me know when you're ready. I can go first on the knife fighting boats.
go for it.
User left your channel.
And so the DD hunting DDs are going to often have a very similar build. And these first 4 points will be very similar even for the torpedo boat and the other gunboat builds. It will be a little bit different here in a second. I'll tell you where. So really the first, every DD is going to take preventative maintenance. You're going to take last stand. On gunboats, there will be some difference here depending on the type. But on many of the knife fighting gunboats, you'll take survivability expert. Some of the other ones will take, and I think on my Hakymu, I can't remember. I think I might have superintendent instead. I have to go back and look. Just because I'm using consumables, I'm not looking to actually get into a knife fight. But if you're in a knife fight, you want that extra health. And then concealment expert. That's pretty standard for almost every boat. And then on my Marceau, my Smollin, anything that's a knife fighting boat, I have Fearless Brawler,
User joined your channel.
main battery expert, and then adrenaline rush. And really the goal is to just pump up that DPS. You want to get your guns firing as fast as you can. You want to be stealthy, or as stealthy as you can be, to A, just not be picked off by cruisers at range, and B, so you can ambush your target, whatever it is, whether it's a DD in smoke. So my Smollin is Raz saw there. I just kind of ran up on the smoke and radared him. You'll do that frequently in it. Marceau is a little bit harder, just because you have stupid detectability, but you want to be able to run up on your target and then just ambush them.
I just want to highlight something about the Z52 really quick. If you don't know, the Z52 has a 2-minute hydro and it's 6 kilometers. So
It's sick.
Yeah, it's like that's one of those like standout ships that kind of doesn't. It's not a gunboat. It's not a torp boat. It does it all. It doesn't do anything
User in your
particularly
channel
great.
timed out.
But the Hydra will catch you off guard because it's a 6-kilometer radar for 2 minutes. So
Yep.
whenever you're fighting a Z-52, that has to be on. It was funny because no one actually said that the Z-52 was a threat. And it's like the Z-52 is always a threat. Like
It is.
so.
That's where I classify it as like a sleeper threat. Like it's that one
It
boat.
is.
User entered your channel.
It is good at everything. It's not bad at anything, but unlike the other boats, it doesn't actually excel at any one thing. But it's incredibly well rounded.
Hey, Ziggy,
Yes.
on the captain skills, why don't you use Dazzle?
Because Dazzle only works for the initial 15 seconds you're detected, and then a gunboat, there's a very
You're
good.
detected all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
For the first 15 seconds, or I thought it was after 15 seconds.
First 15 seconds.
Oh.
Yeah, for 15 seconds after your ship's been detected.
Damn, I've had that whole fucking skill all around.
Yeah, I tried it when it first came out. I was like, oh, this might be interesting. And it's like, all right, this skill's useful for like 15 seconds, and it kind of sucks. And when I'm playing,
So that's
like
good for a torp boat, I suppose. If,
like a
as
shimmy,
last.
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe, but even then, like there are better
After
things
15
you could.
seconds, it's a waste of 4 points.
The argument against the Shima is if you're spotted in the Shima, you've either done something drastically wrong.
Yep.
Or you have. This could also fall under drastically wrong, or you're being hunted by another gunboat.
Right.
Or CV.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That too.
Like I tried Dazzle when I did the Captain rebuild. I wanted to like it. It's just
it doesn't act.
What you get for what you are giving up on, like the DPS ability. It just didn't. I didn't feel like it was a good trade.
Yeah, and as you can see on my Harugumo, I sacrificed the survivability expert in order to go more offense because I wanted to have DPM with main battery specialist. I also wanted the range, so I also took main battery and AA expert so I can get the 15-kilometer range because I like to shoot from far away and either be behind an island or smoking up while I am farming big boats.
Sheesh, you smoke up, damn.
And the other thing you guys should also keep in mind with destroyers, you guys, if you want to build it this way, especially since submarines are coming out, pyrotechnic is going to be your best friend when its subs come out.
When's that happening? By the way, I'm sorry.
Next update.
Holy
titties. Pyrotechnics will go into effect as to their splash damage will affect submarines. So pyrotechnic
subs are going in next patch.
Well, they're going to be in ranked battles next patch, and the skills for against submarines will go in the next patch. So pyrotechnician, heavy AP shells if you are in like a German destroyer, or if you're in one of the new like the druids, the vampires, heavy AP shells are going to be big for those boats as well.
Oh, just something we were talking about earlier. The destroyers with the highest fire chance. It is the Kleber with a 10% fire chance.
Okay. I would caution though, so the Harugumo has a significantly faster rate of fire.
Well, we were just talking about base percentage though.
Yeah. I'm thinking like your fire per second chance, but no, that would make sense. It does have a pretty good fire chance.
Which is it?
Kleber.
Ah.
Because it's because of the 5.5-inch guns.
Makes sense. They're basically fucking cruiser guns.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last thing would be for equipment on DD.
Concealment? Well, I guess it depends.
Pretty much, it's pretty standard. The first one is usually main armaments one. The second one is engine room protection. Third usually is aiming systems mod 1. Fourth one is either, depends on the boat. Most boats will be steering gears, but then if you're French, then you want to go propulsion mod because, of course, speed. Then, of course, in the fifth slot, concealment. And for your last spot, now this depends on the boat. But for gunboats, I would recommend main battery mod 3 so you can get the reload. If you want to have distance, then you would go main battery firing to get the range increase. But most people want the DPM, so you get main battery mod 3 would be the best boat, the best bet.
And with many of the gunboats, you have very floaty shells, so the extra range it just really isn't worth it because you still can't hit your target. Unless they're just going to sit still all game.
And they can see you from further away.
And then you did talk to them about in the basics about turning your AA off.
Yes.
Okay.
What
just making
button
sure.
is that again?
That's your left click.
All right, you guys. Any questions? More questions on Destroyer Advanced Training before we turn it off today? Cool. Please give your thanks to Ziggy because he's the man. He didn't have to do this, but he did. Thank you, Ziggy.
Thank you,
Thanks, Ziggy.
Happy to be here. And again, if you guys have any questions, always feel free to ping me. I love talking about my gunboats. The best way to make gunboats and the best way to kill other gunboats. And gunboat accessories.
Gunboat accessories.
Gunboat accessories.
Yeah, Ziggy has a huge 50
User left your channel.
on his neck chain. All right, Dal, you can cut it off.